we learn how to convert fractions to percentages and percentages to fractions. When converting fractions to percentages, we'll cover three methods. So, method one, we have two steps. We have the fraction 1/4. The denominator is 4. I need the denominator to be 100. What do I do to 4 to get to 100? I multiply by 25. And what I do on the bottom, I must do on the top. So 1 multiplied by 25 is 25, and that fraction over 100 is our percentage. Next up, we have 7 over 8. I look at my denominator of 8. I need that to become a fraction over 100. What do I do to get from 8 to 100? Well, it's very difficult. I don't know what I multiply 8 by to get to 100, and that is why we learn method 2 and method 3. So, method 2, we also have two steps. Step 1, divide the numerator by the denominator to get a decimal. Let's use bus shelter division. So 1 is the same as 1.00. Our divisor 4 is on the outside. How many 4's go into 1? 0 4's go into 1. And the remainder is 1. That is carried over to the next digit, the 0. That makes the number 10. How many 4's go into 10? 2 4's go into 10. The remainder would be 2. How many 4's go into 20? 5. And we don't forget to place our decimal. So we have the decimal 0.25. Step 2, multiply the decimal by 100 and add the percentage symbol. Now when we multiply by 100, there are 2 zeros. That means our decimal point can be moved 1, 2. And it moves just after the 5. That makes the value 25%. Next question, 7/8. Our numerator is 7, our denominator is 8, and we use our bus shelter. How many 8's go into 7? 0. The remainder is 7. I carry it over to the next digit. That makes the number 70. How many 8's into 70? 8. The remainder, 8 times 8 is 64. The remainder is 6. How many 8's go into 60? That would be 7 8's. 7 multiplied by 8 is 56, plus 4, so 4 is the remainder. How many 8's go into 40? That would be 5 8's. Don't forget my decimal point. So, step 2, multiply the decimal by 100 and add the percentage symbol. Again, 100 has 2 zeros, so we can move that decimal 2 places. 1, 2, and it's over here. And we can see the number 87.5%. Method 3, again, we have two steps. So, step 1, multiply the fraction by 100%. 100 can be expressed as 100 over 1. And we don't forget our percentage. Now, multiplying the numerators, the 1 times the 100 on top is 100. The denominator is on the bottom. 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. And I still have my percentage. And 100 divided by 4 is 25%. 7/8. We are going to multiply that by 100 over 1%. The blue numerator, 7 times 100, 700. Black denominators, 8 times 1 is 8. 700 divided by 8, that's a bit tricky. We'll use our bus shelter. How many 8's go into 7? 0, so the 7 carries over. How many 8's into 70? 8. 8 multiplied by 8 is 64. 64 plus 6 is 70, so 6 is the remainder. How many 8's into 60? 7. 7 multiplied by 8 is 56. 56 plus 4, so 4 is the remainder there. How many 8's into 40? 5 8's into 40. And I don't forget my decimal point directly above. We have 87.5%. Now we learn how to convert percentages to fractions. We'll follow these two steps. First, percentage, 50%. Step 1, remove the percentage symbol and write as a fraction over 100. Step 2, simplify if possible. Both of those values can be divided by 50, and our simplified fraction is 1 over 2, a half. Next, percentage, 25%. Step 1, write it over 100. Step 2, simplify. Both of those can be divided by 25. Our numerator is 1, our denominator is 4, 1/4. Next, 60%, step 1, write it over 100. Both of those can be divided by 20. Our numerator is 3, our denominator is 5, 3/5. 87.5%. So we write it over 100. Now we notice a problem. In this case, we have a decimal. We don't want that. Now to get rid of that decimal, we will multiply by 10 on the top and the bottom. Now looking at the numerator and denominator, I must simplify. I know that 5 goes into both of those. 875 divided by 5, it's a bit tricky. I'll use bus shelter division. How many 5s go into 8? 1. The remainder would be 3. That makes the number 37. How many 5s into 37? 7. 7 times 5, 35. 35 plus 2. So 2 is the remainder. Carries over. How many 5s into 25? 5. So I get the value 175. My denominator is 200. Again, I can divide both of those by 5. My numerator is 35. My denominator is 40. And again, for the last time, I can divide both of those by 5. 7/8. And there is my final simplified fraction. On this slide, we have some common conversions to remember. Record this in your notebooks and make sure you can memorize them. Progress check. Have a go yourself, then check your answers with mine. Convert 25% to a fraction. Step 1, 25 over 100. Can I simplify that? Yes, both can be divided by 25. And the simplified fraction is 1/4, 1/4. Next question, convert 3/4 to a percent. So 3/4 is 3/4. When we convert to a percent, we need it as a fraction over 100. What do I do to 4 to get to 100? I multiply by 25. What I do on the bottom, I must do on the top. 3 multiplied by 25 is 75. Writing that as a percentage, we have 75%. Next, 60% to a fraction. We write it over 100. Can we simplify? Yes. 20 goes into both of those. We divide by 20, divide by 20. Our numerator is 3, denominator is 5. Our answer, 3/5. Next, convert 7/10 to a percent. Now converting to a percent, we need a fraction over 100. What do we do to the 10 to get to 100? We multiply by 10. What we do on the bottom, we've got to do on the top. 7 multiplied by 10 is 70. So our percentage is 70%. Next, convert 125% to a fraction. Write it over 100. I look at both those values. Do they have a common factor? Yes. Both can be divided by 25. So on the top, I will get a 5. On the bottom, I'll get a 4. 5/4. Last question. Convert 5/8 to a percent. I take a look at my 8 at the bottom. Can that go easily into 100? No. I will use bus shelter division. First, how many 8s into 5? 0. So the 5 carries over to the next digit. That makes our number 50. How many 8s into 50? 6. 8 times 6 is 48. I add 2 to get to 50. So 2 is the remainder I carry over. That makes the number 20. How many 8s into 20? 2. 2 multiplied by 8 is 16. I add 4 to 16 to get to 20. 4 is the remainder carried over. And it makes the value 40. How many 8s into 40? 5. I always remember my decimal point directly above. I have the decimal 0.625. Convert to a percentage, I need to multiply by 100. And we remember 100 has 2 zeros. That means our decimal point can jump 2 to the right. 1, 2. And it goes there in between the 2 and the 5. We get the value 62.5. And we don't forget our percentage. Boom, we are done. Hey guys, this is Casey at Onetreemath. If you like the content, please remember to like and subscribe. Also, if you'd like some online tutoring, please email me at onetreemath@gmail.com. Cheers.